Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to the course of Introduction to Communication. Course code is JMC-101 and this is the continuative lecture number 12, Propaganda. My name is Rashid Ishaq and I am lecturer Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. Students, in the last lecture I have discussed the propaganda. I have also discussed its definition. I have explained its historical background, and today in today's lecture I will discuss the types of propaganda. Students, I discussed what was the propaganda. Propaganda means the publicity and to promote. In the second definition I discussed that propaganda is to promote the interest of those who contrive or use it rather than to give benefit to those to whom it is addressed. Students, a mean of gaining power by the psychological manipulation of masses and groups, or of using this power with the support of masses, as Jacques Ellul discussed. And in the second definition, I told you in the last lecture that propaganda in the broad sense is a technique of influencing human action by the manipulation of representation in form of different representations and form of different way of communication. People actions are disturbs and influence according to Laswell. And students, I have discussed in the last lecture that in 1622 a committee named Congregation for the Propagation of Faith was established by the Catholic Church in 1622. I discussed the common uses of propaganda, and today I will discuss the types of propaganda. Okay students, with respect the usage of the propaganda, it is classified into three types. The first type is the white propaganda. White propaganda will be clear from its content and design. When someone comes in front of you in your class, you can clearly imagine and you can clearly get the meanings that why Sir Rashid is here in front of you. Sir Rashid is here just because he is delivering the lecture on Introduction to Communication. He will teach the propaganda, he will teach this and that. Whole course content will be in front of you. So my appearance and my content and my design, my presentations and my slides will be clearly exposed to you. So the Madni channel on the television will clearly highlights its meanings from its appearance, that Madni channel, what Madni channel will present in front of you only Islamic content, and the appearance of the talent sitting in the Madni channel will have wore the turban on their heads, and they have wear Islamic kurtas like dress on their body. So Voice of America Urdu. So the Voice of America Urdu is the channel of the American government. Voice of America is the voice of actually the America. That there's a channel that its logo is clearly highlighting, it's telling you from its appearance that Voice of America will all the time give information one-sided, will give only one-sided information. Like they will give information which will be in the favor of the American government, and they most of the time will not show those information. They will hide those information which will be against the American government, like the blacks and whites fight in the America, the separation movements in the America. They most of the time will not disclose, they will not show, and they will not disseminate this such type of information from the Voice of America. So students, BBC means British Broadcasting Corporation. So British Broadcasting Corporation will clearly highlight, disseminate the concept of the information of the purpose of the West. Students, the second propaganda is the grey propaganda. Clearly, the propaganda in which the information of questionable origin, that is never sourced and whose accuracy is all the time doubtful, is called Facebook pages. Today, social media and the new media is very emerging media in the market, and everyone, I think, if we divide the whole world into three parts, the third world will be the Facebook. So the million trillion number of peoples are using the Facebook and the social media, the Twitter, LinkedIn, Fiverr, Bingo, etc., etc. So now the main problem which comes in such type of propaganda like grey propaganda, so number of information which is circulating on the Facebook is all the time not accurate, is all the time not correct, is all the time doubtful. So when we see information which is doubtful and whose accuracy and whose origin is all the time doubtful, so such type of information is called, such type of flowing of information and the dissemination of information is called the grey propaganda. Okay, students, black propaganda. In black propaganda, the source is all the time seems to be friendly. Your source, the source is Pepsi, the source is a politician, a source is some company, a source is an individual, seems all the time friendly, but actually he is from the opponent, he will be from the opponent, he will hold his own purpose and cause to make you manipulate, make you act, make you believe. So students, black propaganda is actually the opponent is not your friend, but in fact he acts like your friend. Okay students, this was the end of today's lecture. If you have any question, you may ask. My WhatsApp number and my email address is given in the first slide. Thank you so much.